Good evening. This is the regularly scheduled meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals, March 28th. Call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock. In accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 30A, I must announce that anyone intending to tape this meeting must identify themselves to the clerk and provide his or her name for the record. Yes?
Abby Taylor, West Springfield Record.
Thank you. We inform those present that any document that is to be considered or discussed must be made part of the record of the meeting, and the original or a copy must be submitted to the committee before there will be any discussion regarding the document. Documents include photos, plans, drawings, computer printouts and simulation, video presentations and the like, as well as letters and written materials. I'm going to change the order of the agenda tonight. We're going to take board reorganization after the public hearings tonight. So our first thing on the agenda tonight is minutes of the meeting, January 24th, 2022. Everybody have a chance to read that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes of January 24th, 2022.
Reed will second.
So we need a motion first.
I'll make a motion to accept those minutes.
Thank you.
Second.
Seconded by Mike. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, and one abstention. Our first hearing tonight is Joseph Kelly, variance from 306.1, Table 6.1A, Table of Area Regulations, which requires a minimum lot area of 15,000 square feet in the residential A2 zoning district. The applicant is proposing a construction of a single-family home on an 11,000 square foot lot located between 176 and 206 Hillcrest Avenue in the RA2 zoning district. The subject property is parcel ID 111002-001. Someone here to present tonight?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Rob Levesque from our Levesque Associates. Just going to adjust the mic stand for a second. Take it off. Can you hear me okay, sir?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So again, Rob Levesque from our Levesque Associates here this evening representing Mr. Joe Kelly. The subject property is an 11,000 square foot parcel located at the corner of Hillcrest Avenue and a paper street, and I can't pronounce this name. Can anybody help me with that? Eustace? So the property is one that is kind of one of those infill lots where the subject property has been developed around. We have a little abutters exhibit in our application if you want to take a look, and it shows the surrounding properties. The majority of the surrounding properties are all a little bit smaller than what we're proposing, probably in the neighborhood of 8,000 or 9,000 square feet. We are proposing to be able to use this, requesting a variance to be able to use this as a single-family home. The city of Westfield has something similar in lots that haven't been developed. They've developed an infill zoning ordinance that allows infill to be kind of calculated, the surrounding lots for the purposes of a special permit that can be issued. That's not available to us in West Springfield. However, these lots are still quite viable. There has been a letter issued by DPW. That letter describes how they would like to see if this, in fact, does receive a variance, how that would be developed. And there's some fairly basic requests that they have. They all seem quite reasonable, and I believe the applicant would be more than happy to accommodate those requests of DPW. So to the crux of the matter, arguing soil shape and topography, as we all like to do. The subject property does have a topographical break from the front to the back of the property. It also exists in a situation where you could argue that the geometry of the lot, because of the adjacent paper street, technically, based on the derelict fee statute, the paper street could be or would be included normally in the acreage of the lot. It's not being included in that 11,000 square feet. We're not taking credit for that. But technically, based on the derelict fee statute, they would own to the center line of that paper street, kind of making the lot a little bit bigger. The shape of the lot is a rectangle, almost a square. So it's not unique in the actual geometry, but kind of where it falls, and the fact that it was left behind and not developed. So it's one that we think is a tricky decision for the ZBA. However, it's one that arguably does not derogate from the intent of the zoning bylaw drastically, in that there's an 11,000 square foot lot that exceeds the majority of the lots in the neighborhood. We don't feel that it would impact the neighbors to construct a single-family home on the subject lot. It would be consistent with the surrounding neighborhood, and we would respectfully request that a area variance of 4,000 square feet be issued to allow for the construction of that single-family home. Be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
So the major hardship that you're stating is the topographical area of the lot?
There is a topographical change. It's not directly related to the area of the lot, to be frank, but we believe that we could argue that there is a topographic change, and therefore would request that the area variance be allowed so that we can then utilize the subject property to the best of our abilities without, ideally consistent with the surrounding neighborhood.
Okay, thank you. Questions from the board?
I have none.
I have none.
I have none.
Anything from planning?
I did receive in addition to the DPW comments, which were referenced earlier, and which were primarily written in response to the town having utilities in the paper street that we need to protect from any digging. But I did also receive an email from an abutter. It is from Jim and Patty Foley, who live at 181 Hillcrest Avenue. They state that the lot has been a dumping ground for garbage and trash since they moved in about 12 years ago. They're fully behind cleaning it up and someone building on it. It would improve this area immensely.
Thank you. And just for the record, seeing that the letter was referenced, I'm going to read into the record. This is from the DPW. If requested, a sewer connection may be permitted to exit the lot line of the property by special request. Requirements of that application will require the applicant to perform utility location test pits for the storm and sewer mains to determine depth and pipe condition. If developed, this property will not be permitted to erect permanent structures in the abutting Paper Road, Eustis Avenue, municipally owned. Stormwater and sanitary sewers are maintained in this area for the town and will hold no liability in the event that the structures are damaged as lost or as a result to emergency repair operations. We just put that into the record, seeing it was referenced.
Thank you.
Is there any comments or questions from the audience? Seeing none. Anything further from the board?
No.
No.
Seeing none. Anything for last comments from the applicant?
No, sir.
Okay. With that, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Just give us a couple minutes.
I certainly don't have a problem with this.
I think since there is a topographical situation on the property, a variance and hardship could be granted. Relief from the hardship could be granted under this
Agreed.
variance. Any comment from the board?
I agree, Chap.
Okay. All right, then with that, I'm going to make a motion to approve the variance at parcel 111002001. I believe this is on Hillcrest Avenue, adjacent Eustis Avenue, in the RA2 zoning district. Relief to be that construction may be made with a 4,000 square foot relief to the zoning ordinance of 6.1, table 61A, which requires the 15,000 square foot in residence A2, with the only condition being all notations from DPW letter referenced and put into the record be a part of this variance approval. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Our second hearing is Joseph Kelly variance from 307.1 Water Supply Protection District utility requirements, which require all new residential uses to be tied to the municipal sewer system. This application has been requested to be withdrawn by the applicant. If there are any folks here tonight that are wishing to speak, the board is going to take a vote as to whether to accept the withdrawal. But I just wanted to inform the people that are here that this application has been requested to be withdrawn. So with that, I'm going to make a motion to accept. I can't open the public hearing. So,
I'm interested in speaking on your decision to whether or not and how to dismiss it.
I can't open the public hearing. What I can do is, we'll take a vote on the withdrawal. I will allow you to speak on the withdrawal after the vote is taken. If
Hard
that
to
will.
influence the vote if I'm not allowed to speak.
I understand, I understand that, it's just, I can't give the perception that the public hearing has been opened, and by taking comment from the public, that is a way of opening a public hearing, and I just can't do that until a vote is taken. If the board decides to not accept the withdrawal, then certainly we will take public comment in the public hearing at that point in time, which we may need to have a continuance as well if the board decides not to accept the withdrawal. So if you just give us a moment on the vote, I would be certainly happy to let you give some comment. You can certainly comment on the vote at that point in time as well. So?
So I just want to make sure, clear for the record, that it's a request to withdraw without prejudice.
Without prejudice, correct, yes. Yes, that would have been in my motion, yeah. So I'm going to make a motion to allow the applicant to withdraw without prejudice for the hearing that I had currently announced. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So the public hearing has been withdrawn. I will allow comment on the board's action at this point in time, if you'd like to speak to that, sir.
I would, very much. Thank you. I'm Al Cabot. I live at 1127 Amostown Road. I'm a resident here. I have been involved over the last 10 years very closely with developing the conservation restriction and protecting the Bear Hole property, which is adjacent to this land that was being considered. The watershed district is there for a reason, and its provisions, which require a sewer connection,
Yeah.
are there for a reason. I'll get to my point.
What
I believe that
what
by
I can only take for comment is on what the board has taken action.
that's
on.
correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
So if you would just speak to the board's action, that would be fine.
That's fine. By failing to address this petition and dismissing it with prejudice,
It's not with prejudice.
without prejudice, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
by failing to, without prejudice, you're basically acquiescing to the fact that there's a petition out there that could be brought back at any time, next month, the month after, the month after, the month after. I believe this petition was frivolous on its face. It didn't address the issue of topography, even though it said that was the reason.
Okay, so,
So I think it should have been with prejudice for that reason.
Okay. I thank you for your comment on that. This may come back before the board, because it has been withdrawn without prejudice, as you're fully aware. At that point in time, if you are in a butter, you will be notified of any public hearing at that point in time, and certainly you, if it does come back to this board, you are certainly willing to come back and speak to any issue that you'd like to at that point in time.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comments tonight. Is there anybody else that would like to speak to the action taken by the board? Seeing none. Then we're going to go to board reorganization. Is Mr. Kelly in the, if you could just come to the board? Under our rules of the town, we need to reorganize the board because of absentee and because of no meeting in January. We're having the board reorganization tonight. Is there nominations to be made for board reorganization? Are there any motions for board reorganization?
There's no objections. I think the board is in good shape in our current assignments, and just leave it status quo.
Is that a motion?
I can make it a motion.
Okay.
I will make a motion that the organization of the Zoning Board of Appeals stay as it currently is.
Is there a second?
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anything further to come before the board? No. Then I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Good night, thank you very much.